My name is Hardik Raj, and today we will be discussing a problem, largest rectangle area. This is an easy problem, and the prerequisites are the stack data structure, or more specifically, the next greater element of the stack. Let's look at the problem description. In the problem, we are given some consecutive rectangles, each of width 1 unit, and each of the rectangles have some height. The height of a rectangle is between 1 and 10.9, I guess. Yeah, 10 to the power 9. So let's call this height as A1. This histogram has height A2, A3, and so on. And this will have height AN. And we want to find the largest rectangular area. That is, it can be something like this. This is a rectangular area, or this is also a rectangular area, and this is also a rectangular area. And out of all the possible rectangular areas, we want to find the one which gives us the maximum value. Okay, let's take an example. This is a Courtship example in which the heights are given as 2, 2, 5, and 6. Let's look at the various rectangles that we can draw. So first of all, a rectangle like this is not possible because the maximum height of this rectangle is 2 and we want to extend it till 5, so that is not possible. So any rectangle or any rectangular region which occupies more height than the permissible height, then in that case that rectangle will not be possible. Next, what if we draw a rectangle like this? So in this case we see that we are deliberately trying to decrease the height, right? And this will result in a worse answer. So we won't do that. That is, if we have a height, say let's say 2 units, and we can maintain that 2 units of height, then in that case we won't go below. So that is, we won't settle for a lower height, like something like this, because the same rectangle could have been like this, and this would have given us a better answer. So we won't decrease the height unnecessarily. So yeah, this is one rectangle. Then another rectangle the area of this rectangle is 1, 1, 1, 1. So this is, the width is 4 and the height is 2. So it's 8 units or 8 square units. Next, another rectangle can be something like this. And the area of this is, the height is 5 units and the width is 2 units. So this is 10 units. Another can be like this. The width is 1 unit and the height is 6 units. So the total area is 6 units. Another rectangle can be like this. And in this case, the width is of 3 units and the height is of 2 units. So 6. Another one can be this one, whose width is 1 unit and height is 2 units. So the total area is 2 units. Out of all these, the maximum is 10, and in this case the answer is 10. We can do the same for another example in which the heights are 4, 3, 5, 7, 2 and 1. In this case it is better to make the height as 3 units and find the rectangle. So let's look at the approach. Okay, let's start off with the brute force approach. In the brute force, what we are going to do is we are going to pick a height. That is, we are going to pick each and every height, and we will try to construct a rectangle whose area is as maximum as possible and whose height is our current height. So let's say that our current height is x. So we want to create a rectangle of height x. So in this case, we will go right, and when we come over here, then we see that we cannot extend it right even further. In that case, we just drop it over here like this. Similarly, we go towards the left, and we go left as much as possible because we want to maximize the area. And now here the height, which is 0, cannot support a height of x. In this case, we drop, and this will be a rectangle at index I with height h of I, and whose area will be maximum if we try to pick a rectangle of height h of I. Okay, so let me just write it. Okay, so here is a key idea. We have our indexes, right? And for each index I, we will try to find the maximum area rectangle by extending the left and right boundary as much as possible. So let's say that this is our current I. We're trying to extend a right boundary as much as possible so that the height remains x or h of I. So height at I is h of I or x, whichever is comfortable. And we try to find a rectangle whose height is x, that is our current height, and we try to extend the right boundary as much as possible and the left boundary as much as possible. If while going right, if we have a rectangle such as this one whose height is greater than x, in such a case we can just use that rectangle, right? Otherwise, if we have a rectangle as this whose height cannot support x, uh, and so our right boundary cannot be extended further, in that case we just close our right boundary. Similarly for the left boundary, this can be implemented using two loops. That is, one outer loop will be from I will be from 0 to n minus 1. This will say that this is our current height, and next what we will do is we will run j from I plus 1 to n minus 1, and again from I minus 1 to 0, and in both of these cases we will try to extend j as much as possible. So extend j max, something like this. So this approach takes of n square, right? But we can do this. Okay, this approach takes O of n squares time complexity and O of 1 as a space complexity. But we can do better. What we are doing in this for loop is we are trying to find an element that is the next smaller element, or the height which is smaller than our current height, right? And this is where the stack data structure helps us. So using the stack data structure, we pre-compute. Okay, let's start the optimal approach. What we do is we use a stack, and using stack we pre-compute the next smaller and previous smaller elements. And what this does is the next smaller is basically the right boundary and the previous smaller is the left boundary. So using this, the pre-computation takes O of n time, and the whole time complexity then comes to O of n, with O of n as the space complexity. So this is time complexity and this is space complexity. So let's look at the code. Okay, in the code, first is the number of test cases, and for each test case I call the solve function. Now in each solve function, here the input, that is the number of rectangles. Next, array of I stores the height of rectangle index I. Next, we use a stack to compute the next smaller and the previous smaller element. So this is a pretty standard code. This is next smaller, and from here this is the previous smaller. Notice that in case we are not able to find the next smaller element, then we say that it is outside the right boundary. So I'm giving it as n. And as for the previous smaller element, that is, if there is no smaller element, then a boundary is at -1. Next, for each index I, we see that okay, our answer stores the maximum area, maximum rectangular area. We iterate over each of the heights, and with each height we look at the right boundary and in the left boundary, and we update our answer. At the end we just output the answer. So let's try to submit this code. Okay, as you can see, the solution was accepted. Now let's summarize what we have learned so far. So first of all, we want maximum area rectangle. So we want max area, right? And for that, we iterate over each I. Each index I. And for each index I, we find the rightmost boundary, the rightmost and the leftmost boundary that can support our current height. So that support h of I. And how can we say if our h of I height is supported or not? So if any j, if h of j is greater than or equal to h of I, so these type of rectangles support h of I, and if h of j is smaller than h of I, then there is no support. Okay, so by doing this, what we are doing this is basically we are looking at all the rectangles or all the optimal rectangles, and from all those optimal rectangles we are just keeping track of the maximum possible area. So what remains is to calculate this thing, that the next index j effectively, or basically in O of 1. So for this we use stack, that is the next smaller and the next or the previous smaller. So let's take a simple example. Let's say our array is like this: 2, 2, 5 and 6. We are going to find the next smaller and the previous smaller. The index values are 0, 1, 2, and 3. So for 2, the next smaller and append auxiliary heights over here. So this will be at index -1 and this will be at index 4. So the next smaller of 2 is at index 4. Similarly, for index 1, the next smaller element is at index 4. For index 2, the next smaller element is at index 4, and for 6 also, the next smaller element is at index 4. Next, the previous smaller. The previous smaller for 2 is -1. Sorry, the index -1. Similarly, for the element at index 1, the previous smaller is at again -1. But for the element at index 2, the previous smaller is at index 1, right? And similarly, for the element at index 3, the previous smaller is at element at index 1. So using this information, we will try to calculate our answer. Just a second. Yeah. So when our I value is 0, in this case, h of I is 2, right? And h of next smaller of sorry, and the next smaller is at index 4, and the previous smaller is at index -1, right? So something like this. Okay, so for element at index 0, we want to find, we know the current height, that is 2. Now we want to find the width to calculate the area, and in such a case, this will be the width, right? Because this will be the rectangle and the area would be just width into height. So for that, we know that our next smaller is at index 4 and the previous smaller is at index -1. So the width will be next smaller minus previous smaller -1. Okay, this will give us the width. So let's check it. So in this case, the width would be 4 minus -1 -1. So the width is 4, which is correct because this is a width 4. Next, when we are at index 1, so we are over here. In that case, the next smaller is at index 4, that is over here, and the previous smaller is over here. So the width would be this thing, and that is again 4 minus 1, sorry, 4 minus -1, that is again 4. Now when we are at index 2, in that case our next smaller is at index 4, our previous smaller is at index 1, and the width should be 2. Let's see if it comes out to be 2 or not. So 4 minus 1, right, next smaller minus previous smaller -1. So this gives a width of 2. So yeah, this is how we calculate the width. We are given the height, we just multiply width into height to get the area. That is what we were doing over here. Now as for the time complexity, so complexity analysis. We are using a stack to calculate the next smaller and the previous smaller. So we need some space to store those values. So this takes O of n space to store such values of previous smaller and the next smaller elements. Next, we need O of n time complexity to calculate previous smaller and the next smaller. Then we have an O of 1 operation to find the width and O of 1 operation to find the height. So the space complexity turns out to be O of n, and the time complexity also turns out to be O of n. So that is for this video. I hope you understood the video. See you next time.